Did you see that picture? I feel like you didn't reply maybe. The one that I sent you with Kara and I at the flower farm the other
You
day?
sent me a picture? I saw it on Instagram.
Oh yeah, it was so fun, this place. We have to go. The season is over now. Yeah, it was this really beautiful thing. I felt bad initially because Kara's birthday is at the first part of the year. And I got her a gift that we couldn't claim until much further in the year. However, it turned out to be like a super beautiful day. We both had a lot of fun. It was amazing. And I highly recommend that if you hear of a place in your community that has like a flower farm, just see if you can go and take some photos because it was so pretty out there.
And so it's just like a kind of like a you pick strawberry type thing, except for with wildflowers.
It's just wildflowers, but this couple, like it's a husband and wife that own it, and they rent a piece of land outside of the city and decided to have a flower farm. She's a florist and she does wedding bouquets and events and that sort of thing, but they added on to their business and now they're doing this flower farm you pick scenario. So you come out and you get like a little tour and then they give you little snips of your own and they tell you how to cut all the flowers and I mean, they went so far to tell me the names of all these things. Let's be honest. It was a hibiscus, liscus, viscus. I'm never going to remember this. I get it home and put it in a vase and I'm like, hey, Kara, this one's doing good. And it smelled beautiful. And there's tons of like bumblebees flying around, which I love. It was just so pretty. It was a lot of fun.
Did you want to go back and wear a dress? I could just tell because it just looked like one of those fields that women are meant to run through a certain time of the month, but feel beautiful, you know, in slow mo.
Well, so Kara, of course, shows up and she has the perfect outfit.
Oh, so Kara is our friend who, for every occasion,
Mhm.
looks and dresses and acts perfectly,
Appropriately, even,
appropriately.
say.
We we are her schlumpadinka fall, tag-alongs. She's exceptional at makeup, always has a cute haircut. You could send her into a grocery store and she would come out styled with products. She'd be like, I think this Fruit Loops would look really great with your skin tone. Like she is so good. If there was some sort of, show that
Yeah.
she could host, the
Yeah.
world would be a better place and so much prettier. But she is stunningly gorgeous and just always put together. I don't
Okay.
know how she became our friend. She became our friend through marriage, but we feel like we don't deserve her.
Mhm. I mean, she had a hat on. Like, come on. Of course you wear a hat to a flower farm.
Oh,
Duh. Why didn't I think of that?
of course, you wear a hat to a
Of
flower
course.
farm.
But she's got the bag that matches and everything. Like, she just looked like she belonged there. I looked like someone took me out of some dumpster and they're like, here, go pick some flowers. So we're getting pictures taken together. I'm like, because I absolutely believe 100%, especially as I get older, we need to document every single thing.
Yes. Yes.
Honestly, it really doesn't matter how I look. I want photographic evidence that I was there with one of my dearest friends. So take all the pictures. But meanwhile, I am trying to shimmy my potato sack behind her beautiful hat. Kara is a really good gift giver in general. Like she just gives incredible gifts. They're so thoughtful. Again, I bought her a gift that we couldn't use for 7 months. But there was a comment that came up in our Facebook community. This mom had a question asking whether or not she was a horrible mom. She says, both my kids have moved out 6 years ago and 2 years ago, both to another province. And it's time to go through all the crap they insisted on keeping in my storage room in my basement. They've approved of the task. And she says, I'm keeping some sentimental items. But while starting the sort, she found a stack of Visa and MasterCard gift cards. She says, I have no clue which kid they belong to, maybe a mixture. She assumed they were used up because what teenager doesn't spend gift cards as soon as they receive them? But today she says, I checked the balances on them all, and one still has 75 bucks on it. So she wants to know, am I an awful human? Can I use this on my youngest child's 22nd birthday gift in 2 weeks? Would that be bad? She says, I mean, I did carry those two humans on my insides.
Listen, they messed up my internal organs. They owe me.
Yeah, right. I get to keep their $75 gift card.
Well, I don't think you're a horrible mom because you're asking the question. I love that you're asking the question. I think a horrible mom would have stuffed that in her pocket right away and like off she went to Starbucks. I know this feeling though of, is it appropriate for me to take my kids' things as my own? I get that feeling. What do you think?
Well, I loved just looking through everybody's comments when she posted this because most of the women were like, absolutely. They said, finders keepers, go ahead and use it. They didn't know it was there. Here's the thing that made me think about though, when it comes to gift cards, I feel like I have a bunch of gift cards laying around too, specifically like those Visa and MasterCard ones, because if you don't use the full amount, there tends to be just little dribs and drabs left behind on them. And I forget to use them and they just sort of stockpile in the corner. So it makes me second guess even how I feel about gift cards in the first place.
Mhm. Yeah, we should talk about that. That is such an interesting concept. I want to say this, using that gift card is not going to feel good.
Mm,
And I think, it's one thing to justify it by saying, listen, I gave birth to them or whatever. But when we talk about building wealth, one of the things that we focus on is something called financial integrity. And financial integrity is so important because it's not just about paying off debt and whatever. It's about restoring the integrity of, I told this person or this company that I was going to borrow this money and that I was going to pay them back. And I need to make sure my word is gold. That's going to be really important. And I know that there's lots of parents listening who've run into problems in the past, like serious financial hardship, and they've had to dig into their child's piggy bank, for example, pulling out the change in order to be able to pay the pizza guy or whatever. I know a lot of people have been in that situation, and they will all tell you it feels so gross, such a yucky feeling. And you can justify it temporarily, sure, because you as a family need the money, you have to put the roof over their head and all of that. But the part that feels gross is that we didn't do all that we could do to avoid being in this situation. We didn't build the life we wanted to build. And so we have to be really careful because, of course, a lot of that is privilege and a lot of that is circumstances and some of it is systemic. But I think the big key is, yeah, it's $75. Yeah, we don't know what kid it belongs to, but it doesn't belong to you. That's the part we have to be careful of. We don't want to enmesh our financial lives with our children's, and we want to make sure we have good boundaries. And I think above and beyond that, financial integrity is also about doing the right thing when no one's watching.
mm.
And so in this case, yeah, nobody's really going to know. It's not that big of a deal, but your integrity is sliding by a degree, and that can then slide by 2 or 3 degrees. And then before you know it, you're justifying all kinds of things that you might not have initially justified. And so I just put the question on, if this wasn't your kids, like if you were helping your friend clean out her closet and you find that gift card, do you put it in your pocket and justify, well, I was helping my friend clean out her closet? You know what I mean? Like we can justify all kinds of things, but is it the right thing to do?
Okay, but she doesn't know which kid it belongs to.
Yeah. So I think we have to figure that out. And then if not, I think we make a decision as a family as to
Mm,
what we do with it. And maybe when we're all together, we use it to buy Chinese food or something like that. But I wouldn't use it to buy the gift. Again, this is so easy for me to say because right now I'm not in the same financial position as but I was there.
yeah.
So it's really easy for me to say. Now, if this means the difference between getting the child a 22nd birthday gift and not getting them a gift, then I guess, yeah, you could use it, sure. But I would make sure that then I'm marking down somewhere that I owe my kids $75 and I'm adding it to my list of debts because it's not yours. And that just on some level, deep down, it's going to feel gross in the long term. Do you want more? I know you do. Why wouldn't you want more? More
More
of this?
what? What do I want more of?
More of this, come
Oh,
hang out in the online course, Forget the Hell Out of Debt. The link is in the description. You just got to click it, sign up, and we'll see you in there. But here's the thing is you're not a bad mom because you're asking the question. You're like, oh, and I think you're asking the question because you're like, this doesn't feel quite right, but
yeah.
back me up, people. I just wouldn't do it. I just think it would feel too awful. Now I've made horrible choices before. So this is, super easy as a discussion piece to be like, I wouldn't do that. And then, who knows? I pick up a quarter off the ground and I keep it. So it's, you're never going to necessarily find all the owners of all the money that's missing in the world and all of that. But I think we have to do our due diligence or do our best or do enough that it matters. Or oftentimes, if I find money on the ground, I'll take it, I'll put it in my wallet, I'll keep it, and I'll make an extra donation to whatever I was going to donate to because it just feels better.
Mhm.
You get to decide for you what makes sense.
I like the idea of putting that different spin on it. Just put a different perspective, change out the people in the scenario and see if you would still make the same decision. I think that's a great idea just to see if then that feels right because often I don't think it will.
Here's the other thing that happens, right? Is our children are not really ours, right? This is my personal belief.
What?
They're entrusted to us for a season and then we have to let them go, right? But a lot of parents are enmeshed with their children and try and control their children. They think of their children as an extension of themselves and all of that. And I think that that gets really dangerous because, for example, you could justify my daughter went off to college and I got stuck cleaning out her closet. And so I had to go through her things and I found her diary. And so I read it. Again, it's a violation, but you could easily justify that behavior because, well, she's gone, she's grown, who cares? But it's a violation. You know what I mean? And I've had that happen to me as a child and it really affected me in a really bad way. So I just think anytime you're entrusted with somebody else's things, whether they be of monetary value or they be personal in nature, we have to treat them with a certain reverence, even if our job is to discard them or get rid of them with permission. And so I just wouldn't spend that if it were me. But if it's the only way we're going to make this budget work to get this birthday gift, then I guess you could, as long as you know that you owe somebody $75.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah, just make the decision based on thinking it all the way through.
Would you spend the 75?
I don't think so, but also I just heard what you had to say. So I'm going to say no. I would absolutely be like in the group text, it would be like, looky what I found. And then we would all figure out what to do with it. I think it would be like a family decision.
Yeah, I think that's just going to feel better in the
Mm.
long run, right? I wouldn't be very happy if my kids took a $75 gift card out of my drawer and they were like, I don't know if this is mom or dad's, so I guess it's mine. Like it just is weird. I wouldn't be too impressed with them if that's what happened. Gift cards as a gift, I like them. I like receiving them. I
Mhm.
like giving them, not from a position of, oh, it's really easy, but from a position of you're helping somebody either treat themselves to something they wouldn't otherwise do, or you're allowing them to pick something that's suitable for them. Now, if I know the person really well and I channel my inner Kara and I can be really thoughtful about a gift, I would prefer to do that.
Yeah.
When I get a gift card, I don't have them laying around. To me, those equal cash. And I use the squeeze method from my budget when I get a gift card. So, for example, if you were to give me a $100 grocery gift card,
Yeah.
I'd be like, whoa, this is great. Because now I have $100 going into my asset column because I'm taking $100 now from my grocery budget and I'm buying an asset with it. If I was in phase two, if I have the Get the Hell Out of Debt program and I had debt and you give me a $100 grocery card, woohoo, $100 now from my grocery budget is going on debt. I use it as if it were cash. So I
Oh,
do love a gift card. There's no gift cards in my life that are laying around with pennies on them because I will make sure. Or there's companies that you can donate the remaining balances to. And so I'll transfer those out.
is that true? I've never heard of those companies.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's interesting.
lots of charities will take them. Yeah. I mean, there was a season of my life where I didn't pay for Starbucks for a year and a half. I got so many Starbucks cards when Starbucks gift cards first came out, and it was awesome. People like, oh, I'm sorry, you get another one. I'm like, what do you mean another one? This is great. I go here every day. And what's cool is when I get one, I like think of that person. And as I'm drinking it, I make sure I'm sending them good vibes or prayers or whatever I think that they need. We've had listeners of the podcast send me gift cards. And so all I know is their name, but I'm like drinking my chai latte. And I'm like, thank you so much, Lisa. And as I'm drinking, I'm like, Lord, bless Lisa with infinite abundance financially. It's just a fun way to kind of give when you don't know. Lisa doesn't know what colors are in my house. She doesn't know,
Yeah,
what my interests are.
that's true. But if you've listened to this podcast for any amount of time,
You
you
know
know
Starbucks.
that you drink Starbucks.
That's right. That's not a call for Starbucks gift cards, by the way. Please use your money appropriately with your own families. But I love them. I don't know. You think they're impersonal?
No, I've changed my mind over the years though too. I think that the issue that I had with them once upon a time was the fact that you could tell immediately how much that person spent on you.
Right.
With like a gift that doesn't have a price tag, there could be any kind of value that's
Right.
placed on that. The person then puts a value on it based on how much it means to them or whatever. But you changed my mind when it came to gift cards. And it's just, why do we have a problem with this? This shouldn't be a problem. Somebody is still buying you something, which is a huge gesture, and
Yeah.
just accept it for what it is and move on. Be grateful, the end.
And also, as somebody who hates to get out of the car, I don't like to go get groceries. I don't like to. So for me to go get you a gift card, I put in some effort, bro. I dressed up. I stood in the line. I worked it. But yeah, I'm a fan of them. I don't have an issue with them at all. I think you do need to treat them like cash. And I think for a lot of people who maybe feel differently about gift cards, if you get one and it's not of value to you, then pass it on to somebody who will get value from it. Because I think, otherwise these corporations have all of your cash and that's not helping anybody. So I'm a fan.
I really do have some gift cards that have been used, that weren't used completely, that I need to check the balances on. And now you're making me feel bad because I'm not taking care of them like I should have.
Well, even if you get a gift card for, I don't know, an auto parts store. I'm trying to think of something that you maybe wouldn't need anything from. But let's say you get a gift card for somewhere you don't care about or don't want,
Okay.
and
Yep.
you're in the Get the Holiday program. Just go spend the gift card and sell the thing online or sell the gift card for 80 bucks. That's a
Yeah, right.
$100 gift card. But it is, I think, generous and thoughtful anytime anybody thinks of you, even if they give you a high five for your birthday. It's thanks. They write on your Facebook wall, happy birthday. That's like a moment. Just say thanks. Receive
Right.
it. Yeah.
Receive it. They were thinking about you. So that's a good thing. That's nice to be thought about.
Mhm. I already know this person's a good mom, though. Did she say her name?
Vera.
Vera, I know you're a good mom. I'm so glad you brought this discussion question up. It's really fun to talk about these things. And it's fun. Everybody going to work today, or if you're listening to this on your commute, go into work and say, like, hey, is it okay to spend your kids' gift cards? You're going to have a great conversation. Just see what people think. And we'd love to hear from you. You can click the link in our show notes and leave us a voicemail and let us know your thoughts. But I love that you're helping out your kid. I love that you've launched a child into adulthood and your 22-year-old is off at college. And I don't know, your other one sounds like they are too. You did a great job. You're now helping declutter and help them organize their lives. You sound awesome. So this is nothing to beat yourself up for. We're just having a bit of fun today. Whatever you choose, I know you'll make the right choice for you. And congratulations on being a mom for 22 years. I mean, when Kara, she's so good. When she even like wraps a gift,
Ugh.
you don't even want to open it because her gift wrapping is so
Ugh.
stunning.
Don't get me started. I hate wrapping gifts, but it's probably because I'm so bad at it. Like Kara curates the
Mhm.
wrapping paper, and there's like floofy bits that are like added on. Not just the ribbons are twanged properly, but there's like other little accoutrements that she's adding to make it personal and beautiful.
When I bought us those pickleball hats
Yeah.
and I ran into Indigo 50 minutes before I was meeting up with everybody and bought bags and tissue to put in the bags, I felt so proud of myself. And Kara folds the tape in such a way that you can't see the tape on
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And so she very graciously said, "Oh, Erin, this is so beautiful." And I looked at her, I thought, I know you're lying to me right now. I know you're lying to me, but that's even how beautiful she is on the inside.
I feel like I have lied to her before about gifts that I've given her. I'm like, sorry, my 3-year-old wrapped this.